The truth is, a lot of schools are encouraging teachers to use AI, but aren't actually showing them how. So if you've tried AI before and thought this isn't really helpful or useful, I've been there, and let me tell you, I was wrong. In this video, I'm breaking down 5 mistakes math teachers make with AI and how you can fix them. When I first started using AI, I'd give it 1-sentence prompts that were very basic. AI gives back what you put in, and most of us don't realize that we actually need to guide it. That's where the RTF method comes in. The R stands for role. You need to tell the AI who it should be impersonating. So for example, I would say I'm a 7th grade teacher preparing a math lesson. The T stands for task. We need to tell the AI exactly what it's doing. The more specific we make this, the better the output will be. We can see here in my example, I've specified how long I would like the lesson to go for and what components of the lesson I'd like to be included. And then the F stands for format, and that is how you would like your output presented. So I've told the AI that I want this to be a clear lesson outline with specific subheadings, and I want it to be copy and paste friendly. So once you've got your role, task, and format, you will send that prompt to the AI, keeping in mind that the more detail you give it, the more accurate your output will be. And we can see here, scrolling through my output, it has produced everything I've asked for. Let me show you an example of what happens when you make too many requests at once. So right now I've asked for multiple different things for multiple different classes. So we can see here that it has actually produced what I've asked it to do, but the responses are pretty plain and vague because it was overworked and it had too much to do. It also becomes a real pain to make specific adjustments and really perfect your output. So now let's go for a more broken down approach. So I'm planning for a year 8 class here. I'm going to make my first request, and we can see here that it has responded to that. And if I want to make changes, it's nice and easy for me. I'm going to differentiate these ones. And as we can see here, the AI has made those changes. It's very quick and easy for me to follow. Now I'm going to make my next request, which is a real world context and worked example. And again, very clear, very direct, and directly linked to my previous request. And then finally, I'll make my game request. I'd like to do something at the end of my lesson, and it has produced a game that I can then deliver. Compared to our first output, this is much more detailed, it's specific to what I asked for, and it makes it a lot easier for me to adjust. This is an issue for 2 reasons. The first being that AI can make mathematical errors, and I've seen it do it before. But the second and most problematic for teachers is the output that AI produces isn't really in a natural teacher tone. Let me show you what I mean. So I've asked the AI to create me a lesson plan. And if we look at the language and teacher explanations here, it feels very forced, and I for one would not speak like this. But here it said complete these questions without instructor intervention. Very weird way to put it. As well as saying things like compute 30% of 50. And even in this lesson outline, so this teacher explanation section, the language feels very forced. So make sure to either convert it into your own words or specify the tone of how you'd like to present to the AI. Not all AI tools are built the same, and you need to change which one you're using depending on your goals. So here's a quick rundown. ChatGPT is great for brainstorming quick ideas. As you can see here, I asked it to brainstorm some activity ideas, and it's produced a really quick list that will be engaging for my students. If I wanted an interactive or a simulation, I would use Claude. It works the exact same, so you just make your request like I've done here. I've asked it for an interactive on angles, and it has produced me this little applet that I can interact with to display the concept to my students. Both of those tools, so ChatGPT and Claude, cannot create slides though, and something you can present to students. If you're wanting a full lesson presentation, you'll need to use Tutero. With Tutero, you'll have an interactive slideshow that comes with warm-up questions. It comes with a real-world context. There's over 300 to select from. It will come with explanations of the skill that students can follow through step by step. And then you'll also have some activity slides, so some games and interactives that students can work through. AI's first answer is rarely the best, but a lot of us stop there. You have to tweak it. You have to ask follow-ups and push for better responses. Let me show you a few examples of how. So here I have a set of 10 questions, but they're very basic and probably not going to be beneficial for my students. I want to make it more fun and exciting, and I know my students love basketball, so I'm going to theme my questions around that. So I've made my request, and now the AI will rewrite those questions with that basketball theme. So the questions are improved, but I feel like they still lack differentiation. So I'm going to make another request. I want there to be tiered questions with different levels so all students can access them. And as we can see, AI will respond to that and it will produce higher quality questions. So we have gone from these questions that you can see here to these questions here, which are related to the real world. They're differentiated so every student can access them, and they're going to be more engaging for my students. So if you're a bit skeptical on AI or have given up using it, give it another go. Apply some of these tips that I've given you today. Once you properly know how to use it, I promise you, you're going to save a ton of time and it's going to make teaching a lot easier. We make videos every single week on this channel helping math teachers use AI. So if that's something you're interested in, check out our other videos and make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.